Open up a tab, grab a seat, and pour a pint. It's time for the Beer Guys Radio Show.
You want free beer? Go to the brewery.
Dedicated to the art, science, and enjoyment of craft beer.
Yo, what's wrong with the beer we got?
Now, here are your hosts, Tim Dennis and Aaron Williams.
And welcome to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We are radio for the local craft beer movement, broadcasting from our studios here at AM 920 The Answer in Atlanta. I am Aaron Williams.
And I'm Tim Dennis, and we've got Brian Hewitt with us, our technical director.
Yes.
Taking care of all
editor.
the technology up in here. So, Brian, how are you doing?
I am doing well.
Good. So we've got a busy show. It's the last show of the year.
Yep.
We took a little break last week for the Christmas holidays.
Of course.
And as we run into the end of the year, this is our most popular show and probably most controversial show, Aaron.
Exactly. People get salty over this one, but it is time for the best in Georgia and Alabama beer. We have got a lot to get into, so we're going to kick things off right away and kind of break format, as they say in the business. But first, before we actually get into some of the awards, Tim, why don't you just tell us a little bit about how this contest works and how we got these nominees and the winners?
Okay, so we changed it up a little bit this year. This is our second year doing the Best of Beer Awards. And for this year, we ran a nomination round for about 2 weeks before a final voting round. Nomination round was open ballot, just fill in the blanks, and we took the top 10, give or take, nominations, and we moved them on to the final vote.
Yes.
That final vote ran until 10 p.m. last night, and then we tabulated all the winners for this. So some had 10 spots that were filled easily, had a pretty big variety in voting. There were certain categories that were really tight and had a few that really took it to the top. So, some of them may have had a couple more or a couple fewer than 10 in the final round. So, but to make it clear, these are all based on nominations and votes from our readers. We didn't handpick who was on the list or anything.
Nope.
This is all nominations, totally open format on this, Aaron. So, and then we're going to announce the top 3 from the final voting round tonight on the show.
And just how many people finally wound up voting? It was quite a few.
We had 2,506.
That's amazing.
Total votes on this.
So last year we just broke the 1,000 mark, I believe.
We said almost 1,000 last year. I look back at last year's notes. We had almost 1,000, and this year over 2,500 people.
That's awesome.
Cast their vote for the best of Georgia beer.
Over 100% growth in 1 year.
I like
is
that.
Not bad.
That's very cool. So again, thank you so much for voting. And again, I want to reiterate that we had no say in the winners of this. It was all listener and reader nominated. And I also want to mention too, of course, since I'm now an employee at a Georgia brewery, I had absolutely no say in the results of the Georgia section of this survey. We
didn't even let you see it.
No, you didn't.
You're going to be surprised.
I'm not sure. I just have the Alabama results. I do not have the Georgia results. So without any further ado, let's give out some awards. How about that?
You got it.
Absolutely. So here, I'll start things off. We've got the best new IPA, and of course, it's important to know that actually the dates of this are important too. So best new IPA of 2017. What were the dates that were carrying?
So for any of our new categories that run for things in 2017, our eligibility dates ran through December 1st. I believe it was December 15th of 2016 to December 1st of 2017. And we did that December 1st break point this year to make it a little easier next year to look at the candidates. So anything released within that time period was eligible for the new categories.
Yes, so in case your favorite beer isn't on there, just kind of remind yourself that maybe it wasn't released in this calendar year that what we've gone through.
We had some that were close.
We did, definitely.
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
I had to throw it actually in Alabama because of that. So in Alabama, by the way, let's go ahead and do the first, the best new IPA. The top 3 are, number 3, the Singing River Apocalypse Now, the IPA Apocalypse Now. Something like that.
Very close. That should be it.
Number 2, Big Beach Brewing. They have a Mullet Over Session. That one, number 2. And the number 1 IPA in Alabama, new IPA, Trim Tab, the Gallery Series number 5 New England IPA. So congratulations to Trim Tab.
I feel like we need like a sound effect that's like a drum roll and then a cork or bottle pop at the end.
You know what? I think maybe I'll work that in post. Maybe I can do something with that.
But I also feel like after doing that very many times, it would get old having that sound effect. So anyhow, Georgia, for the best new IPA, in the number 3 spot, we have Variant Brewing Company's Cashmere. For number 2, we have Jekyll Brewing Southern Juicy Juice. And the number 1 new IPA in Georgia this year is Monday Night Brewing's Dust Bunny.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very
how about
nice.
it? So a good one there. And real interesting fact on this. In Georgia, there was only 1% that separated the top three in the vote. The IPA category, the new IPA category, was super tight, very close, and just 1% between those top three spots.
You know what? It kind of tells to the quality that's being produced now, especially over really the past 6 months. There have been some phenomenal IPAs that are coming out of Georgia, especially, and just some new ones every single month, and they're all great.
Yeah, even looking below the top three, I mean, everybody that made it to the final round, they're solid beers.
Yeah.
So there were some, and I'll admit, like us talking about we didn't control this, there's some on here that I may disagree with or was surprised at, but this is what the voters said.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good to know. So congratulations again to Trim Tab and Monday Night Brewing for their best new IPA win, and congratulations to all the nominees because you're all winners. I'm a winner.
They're not, though.
Oh, I guess they're not.
They're not. I mean, we're announcing the winners. You can't tell them that. And then
second place is first loser. Is that how it goes? Exactly. No. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the best new double or imperial IPA. Let's go ahead and kick it off with Georgia.
Want to start with Georgia? Sure. This one, you got it, man. So, in the number 3 spot, a little collaboration action. We have the Creature Comforts Modern Times Modern Comforts. In the number 2 spot, we have Scofflaw Brewing's Double Basement. And the number 1 Georgia double IPA is Creature Comforts Tropicalisma.
And I tell you what, Creature Comforts is cranking out some really good double IPAs.
They
so
are.
That is certainly
good stuff
something.
over there.
And again, Scofflaw is really coming on the scene as well. So there have been some good IPAs, good double IPAs coming out of Georgia as well. Not too bad in Alabama as well. We had 2 finalists. At number 2, we had the Big Beach Party in the Back double IPA. And number 1, again, it's Trim Tab. They're 006 double IPA. So
Trim Tab bringing the heat over
2
there.
2 for
man.
2 so far. That'll be good. So
I should note that in Georgia, we did get 1 vote under the new IPA category for what's wrong with the beer we got.
I love that. I think that's perfect, actually.
We don't need no new beers.
Who needs new beer? That's
Absolutely.
right. That's right. Excellent. Well, cool. So the next category, I guess we got time for a couple of more categories here before we have to take a break. The best new wild/sour beer. And we have 2, again, finalists in Alabama. Number 2 was the Avondale Blend number 3, which is a mixed fermentation golden sour they aged on raspberries. But the number 1, kind of a surprise here, but number 1 is Ghost Train Brewing. They have their Kaleidoscope Kettle Sour. So congratulations to Ghost Train, fairly new brewery there out of Birmingham, too. So congratulations
Very
there.
cool.
Yep.
That's, I want to mention on this category as well, Aaron, that wild sour is just a super broad category, and they were all kind of thrown in here. So we do have some that are more, long-term wild ales, some that are kettle sours, like you mentioned there.
Yeah,
so
there's a vast variety of them.
Yeah, we don't have enough airtime to cover all of those little minor categories in that. So with that said, in Georgia, for the best new wild or sour beer, in the number 3 spot, we have 3 Taverns Inceptus 2017. That is an American Wild Ale. In the number 2 spot, we have Monday Night Brewing's Dr. Robot, which is a sour ale. And then the number 1 spot, Variant Brewing Company's Raspberry Lemon Goza, which is a fruited goza.
Excellent. So I think, Variant, again, brand new brewery on the scene, and they're making some noise up there in Roswell.
They are.
So
some good stuff going on in Roswell. Absolutely.
So yeah, don't have time to kind of maybe go to a next category before we have to take a break. But, thoughts so far?
So far, I'm good. I'm good with what we've seen here so far.
Yeah.
These are some nice ones. I mean, I think they're all good representatives of their individual categories. I've enjoyed every one of the beers. I haven't had all the Alabama beers. You know, some of them don't make it over here, and I don't make it over to Alabama as much. But I have had all of the ones in the Georgia categories, and I've enjoyed them.
Definitely.
So I've been championing Cashmere ever since I sampled that. So that's the Variant
one of those
Cashmere.
open if that's the case.
We'll get on that. Yeah. How about you,
So
Brian?
I know that Tim, when we had Cashmere, I was there, and he's like, "This is the best IPA I've ever had in Georgia," or something like that. So
I did
something insanely grandiose. I really want to try this Raspberry Lemon Goza. I don't think I've had it yet.
Okay, we'll have to get back up there and visit soon. Then
I've been meaning to. Get up there. Yeah.
Well, we need to take a quick break. We've got a lot more to go through. So you're listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show, and we'll be back right after this.
Craft beer forged with a reverence for tradition and new styles that start a revolution. Ironmonger Brewing. The brewers at Ironmonger pride themselves in being masters of barrel-aged, hoppy, and sour beers. They invite you to their tap room to taste and see. And coming soon, Ironmonger's Barrel Room, featuring live entertainment. Keep up to date on all things Ironmonger by liking them on Facebook. Ironmonger Brewing, establishing a new standard in craft beer.
Have you ever thought about owning your own brewery, but don't know what it takes to get one built? We're CRL Contracting, and we build breweries. We are the most experienced contractors in the state of Georgia when it comes to building new breweries and tap rooms, or expanding current breweries. If you've been to Orpheus, Second Self, or Scofflaw, then you know what kind of work we can do. Just give us a call at 678-546-3382 or visit crlcontracting.com for more information. CRL Contracting. We build breweries. crlcontracting.com.
We are Reformation Brewery, celebrating the reformer in you. Locally crafted within the renowned Etowah watershed of Woodstock, Georgia, Reformation creates yeast-forward brews full of aroma and flavor crafted to last. Come see us in beautiful Woodstock, Georgia, for a tour and tasting of unique brews that you can't find anywhere else. Reformation Brewery, set beer free. ReformationBrewery.com.
It's Aaron and Tim, the beer guys. If you're like us, no lunch or dinner is complete without a pint or two of craft beer.
Which is why Truck and Tap in downtown Woodstock and Alpharetta are always on our list. Tim, why do they call it Truck and Tap?
Well, the tap part is easy, Aaron. See, they've got 18 of them.
As for the truck part, well, that's when it gets interesting. Truck and Tap features your favorite Atlanta area food trucks daily, so that way you're getting a different menu every day.
Truck and Tap in downtown Woodstock, Alpharetta, and coming soon to Duluth in 2018. Truckandtap.com. Let them know that the beer guys sent you.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
The numbers all go to 11.
Does that mean it's louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
And welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show, beerguysradio.com. We are broadcasting from our studios at AM 920 The Answer in Atlanta, and we have got the show of shows. It's the best in Georgia and Alabama beer. Good
times.
Best
around, man.
Absolutely. So, again, a lot of great choices. It's all viewers and readers' choices. We had nothing to do with it. It was all nominated by the viewers and listeners and voted on by them, too. So,
yeah, between Georgia and Alabama, close to 3,000 respondents on the surveys there, and so a lot of people weighed in on what they want to drink.
Pretty awesome. So let's go right into it.
On to one of my favorite categories.
Absolutely. So here we go. The best new stout category. So I'll kick it off while you finish your beer here.
Sipping my Dust Bunny.
Exactly. So Alabama, I had to say that we had a lot of good nominations. Unfortunately, the top two I had to kick out because they did not meet the criteria. Fairhope Kingslayer, released in 2016, not eligible. And Trim Tab Language of Thunder was released in December, so that again was not eligible as well.
For those of you that voted for beers that were released a little too late, remember them a year from now.
Exactly.
When it comes back around there. Yeah.
Tell Siri, tell Alexa to remind yourself.
Remind me.
And then you'll be good to go. But again, the winner, again, nothing to be ashamed of here. Alabama at Straight to Ale's Stout at the Devil, which is, again, one of my favorite names for a stout. So they are the winner.
Numero uno, the one and only.
Exactly,
there,
exactly. The last one standing. So congratulations to Straight to Ale. What about Georgia?
Over here in Georgia, we got a few great ones to mention. For the best new stout, in the number 3 position, we have Scofflaw Brewing Company's Barrel Age Absentium. In the number 2 position, we have a very popular one. A lot of people sought this one out. 3 Taverns German Chocolate Helms Deep. In the best stout in Georgia, according to Beer Guys Radio readers and listeners, is Monday Night Brewing's Tears of My Enemies.
All right. Well, there you go.
How about that?
I want to reiterate that, again, I had nothing to do with any of this.
You have to kind of control your excitement now, don't you? Because trying to be professional.
It's awesome, though. That's great.
It is good. You got a good brewery to work with there.
I do appreciate that. So very cool.
All right. So that's a really good beer, too.
No,
it is.
All three
it's fantastic
of them are great, too. Beer. The Barrel Age Absentium, the German Chocolate Helms Deep, Tears of My Enemies. Tears of My Enemies, of course, won a medals, GIBF. But Barrel Age Absentium, German Chocolate Helms Deep, they're both phenomenal beers.
I believe I waited in line for each and every one of those.
I think I did too, actually.
Sure Didn't they have German Chocolate It premiered at Shelton Fest.
Yes,
didn't
it did. Yeah.
And I missed it. I was too busy running my mouth. I didn't. Did you get it at Shelton Fest?
I did. It was delightful.
The one there. So good stuff. Now we have a very interesting category. So as we talked about earlier, Aaron, we don't quite have room to split this into as many categories or the manpower to go through 100 different categories.
Exactly.
So we put stout, sours, IPAs there, and then we had an everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say to Ryan over at Arches, he emailed me this year and said, "Where's the best new lager category?" And I said, "You know what? We don't quite have enough lagers to do that, but maybe next year we will." I took a look back at my emails, and he sent me the exact same email the year before.
Yes.
So he's championing that new lager category. Maybe we'll get on that. So this is everything else category.
Okay.
If it didn't fit into any of the other ones, people got to vote for it here. So I'll start with Georgia in the best of everything else category for new beers in Georgia. In the number 3 position, we have Dry County Brewing Company's Damn It All Barley Wine. In the number 2 position, Creature Comforts The Silent World, which is a dark lager. And the number 1 is Cherry Street Brewing Cooperative's Imperial Coconut Porter.
And that's a great beer, too.
Fantastic.
That's one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
So,
all of those are good beers.
No, they're definitely great. So congratulations to them. And, and in Alabama, it was an everything else beer. It was so good that everybody voted for different beers. So
we kind of ran into that with it as well.
And so unfortunately, I've got one, and I've got like a 10-way tie for second. So I'm only going to go ahead and go with the winner here. And one of my favorite beers too from Alabama over the past year, it's a Back 40's Peanut Butter Porter. Not only is it a great beer, it's one of the best cans I've seen.
The
too.
Cans. What's it? A Jif can? It looks like, right?
Yeah, it's
very
great.
cool.
So very good. So congratulations again to the nominees there. We've got the next one coming up is the best new brewery. So again, we received a few comments here.
We did. So just to expand on this, we got a handful of concerned comments on the best brewery brew pub in different categories there. Some from readers, some from the breweries themselves. We had a category for breweries and one for brew pubs. Most people that were upset because theirs was not nominated is because they had a brewery and a brew pub mixed up there.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, for some of the brewers that reached out to me, not being on the list, again, through the nominations that we had no control over it. So these are just what people put on there. And unfortunately, that's nothing we can do about that.
There you go. Yep.
But this is what we've got from it.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go with Alabama. At number 3, we have Red Hills Brewing, of course, out of the Vestavia Hills, just outside of Birmingham. Number 2, Green Bus Brewing, one of the former guests on our show. So congratulations to Green Bus out of Huntsville, downtown Huntsville. And the number 1 new brewery in Alabama is Ghost Train Brewing out of Birmingham. So
not a surprise there with where they've hit in some of these other categories.
They've definitely hit some good categories, but again, they're starting to grow. Alabama's not growing as rapidly as Georgia is, but there are some great breweries coming aboard there too. So keep an eye on them. They're starting to gain some ground.
And here in Georgia, our best new breweries, the top 3. In the number 3 position, we have Wild Leap Brew Co. out of LaGrange, Georgia. In the number 2 position, we have Variant Brewing Company over in Roswell. And the best new brewery in Georgia this year is Monday Night's Garage.
Okay.
So congrats there.
Nice. Okay.
And again, 3 great places. Mm-hmm. You can't go wrong going to any of them.
No, you can't. So, and of course, we had Wild Leap on just a few weeks ago, and Variant we've talked to before. And, like I said, the Variant's one really to watch out for, I think, in the next few years of the ones that have kind of been coming around this year. All of them have been great so far, but there's some good beers. You can't complain about those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So
what's up in Alabama there?
No, I'm sorry. I already said the best new brewery here.
Okay, so we're moving over to brew pubs.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Let's reset that then. So... And now it's time for the best new brew pub category. So there. Now, I saw you did not have a winner in Alabama, correct, Aaron?
That is correct. Unfortunately, again, it was a mass of 1 votes, and it basically was almost a 10-way tie for first place. Okay. And a lot of folks, again, got the brew pub and brewery thing confused. So, unfortunately, I didn't feel right nominating a winner because there really wasn't any.
No clear winner there. But, all right.
Yep.
You got it. So over here in Georgia, we do have some clear winners in the top 3 positions. At number 3, we have Hopsticks in Chamblee. In the number 2 position, we have Good Word Brewing and Public House in Roswell. And the best new brew pub in Georgia for 2017 is From the Earth Brewing Company in Roswell.
Nice. So From the Earth, congratulations. That's really good. So cool. Good deal. And again, so that's again some impressions so far from where we're going.
I think we're good now. We just had a question here on the Facebook page that I've gotten before from some other people. They asked about how Monday night won Best New Brewery.
Yes.
Monday Night's Garage is a new facility producing new beers. We allow that to count. So that is in there for this year, and that is how they got, because it's a new brewery, separate facility, separate beers that they're making.
I think that I talked to somebody about this recently, and there are legal separations between these things. So there's actual paperwork and legalities that separate the garage from Monday night.
Yes, so you cannot sell beer that was produced at the Monday night facility at the garage to go. You can sell it on tap, but you can't sell it to go, and vice versa. So if you wanted to get, for example, a 6-pack of Dust Bunny at the garage, you couldn't do it. You had to go to the West Midtown
You kind of have to go
location.
through all the same permitting processes
too,
right?
Exactly. So it's a little bit different, but interesting.
So that is how Monday night got on there. I knew that was a question we would get, and we have received it a few times.
So there you go. But but again, overall, some great winners here. We've got just some wonderful brew pubs and breweries around the area. I'm just really excited to see how, again, Georgia beer has grown and Alabama beer has grown in the Southeast now that we've finally gotten our rules relaxed. Uh-oh. What are you opening there?
So I'm opening from one of our best new brew pubs. We have a coconut coffee dark alchemy from Variant Brewing Company.
That's new breweries, not brew pubs.
Breweries.
Now
I'm doing it.
Too.
Now
Exactly.
I'm doing it.
So excellent. We're looking forward to cracking that open. We are going to take a quick break right now. You're listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show, beerguysradio.com. We'll be back with some more winners from our Best in Georgia Beer and Alabama Beer 2017. Talk to you later.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I didn't enjoy it at all.
Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
And welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We are broadcasting from our studios at AM 920 The Answer in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. And we are doing our Best of Georgia and Alabama Beer Show for 2017.
Woohoo! Yes, and so we've done the Best New Awards the past two segments, and now it's time for the Best Overall Awards. Always exciting.
No date, no time limit on this. Could have been produced or opened any time, and that's what we got.
And again, this was all from readers' surveys, and again, they made the nominations. We kind of cut off the nominations and had another round of final awards, and this is all reader, listener submitted things.
This is it. Absolutely.
We had nothing to do with it, so it's always key. Let's take a look at this year's Best IPA overall. In Alabama, we had a couple of nominees here, and the number 2 position was Fair Hope's Take the Causeway IPA. And number 1, Big Beach Brewing, no surprise there, 100 Days IPA. So Big Beach, shout out to them. And again, we encourage breweries to publish it and help people, kind of publicize the thing. And so Big Beach certainly did a good job doing that.
Get the word out, right?
Get the word
Absolutely.
out. Exactly.
Good stuff.
Yep.
So in Georgia, our Best IPA overall, in the number 3 position, we have Scofflaw's Basement. In the number 2 spot, the new brewery in Roswell, Variant Brewing Company's Cashmere. And the Best IPA in Georgia. Can anyone guess this one?
Is it Sierra Nevada?
It is not.
It's not.
It
420.
is
Oh, wait, that's not an IPA.
No, it's not an IPA.
That's extra pale ale. The best IPA in Georgia, I think for the second year running, is Creature Comforts Tropicalia.
There you go.
There you go.
No surprise at all. So
repeat, back-to-back champions.
That's exactly it. So speaking of Creature Comforts, let's see if they did okay in the best double IPA / Imperial IPA too. So, and again, this is the overall award. What do we got for Georgia?
For Georgia, in the number 3 position, we have Creature Comforts Tropicalissima.
Okay.
In the number 2 position, we have Creature Comforts Cosmic Debris.
Mm-hmm.
And the best double or Imperial IPA in the state of Georgia for 2017 is Orpheus Brewing's Transmigration of Souls.
Awesome. So
there
3
you
great
go,
beers
man.
right
Good
there.
stuff. Absolutely. Yeah. What's going on in Alabama?
Well, of course, for the best Imperial double IPA, we have got number 3, Cahaba's Fraxinus Maximus. That's a good one. Also, one of my favorites, actually, out of Alabama personally. Number 2, Trim Tabs Tesserae Double IPA. And number 1, of course, no real surprise on this one either. This is probably the Alabama beer that most folks know about more than anything else. It's a Good People Snake Handler Double IPA.
Yeah, that was one that people were hunting, a while back when it was coming out there. They wanted to get their hands on that snake handler. I remember going through Birmingham several times and stopping, and every time I'd go, it'd be out. I'd hear that it was over there. I just missed it for quite a while there.
Yeah, so that's Alabama's version of Tropicalia for a while, but yeah, it's all over the place. Now, best overall wild and sour beer. Like we said before, this is quite a broad category. So it's again involves all types of wild sour beers. Wild ales, kettle fermentations, kettle sours, just everything. So
if it's sour and it's beer, it's eligible.
There you go. So let's see. In Alabama, had a couple of nominees. A Fairhope, it's Charlie, which is a golden sour with hibiscus and passion fruit, came in at number 2. And number 1, again, looks like our big winner so far here in Alabama, Trim Tabs Paradise Now, which is their double raspberry Berliner Weiss. So congratulations to Trim Tab and Fairhope.
All right, in Georgia. So something I wanted to mention, one of the nominees that would have been in the top 10 was Creature Comforts Paradiso. However, Paradiso comes in several variants.
Yes.
And no one mentioned a variant, so there was no clear variant to make it into the nominations there. So, however, with that said, in Georgia, the best sour beers overall, in the number 3 position, we have Creature Comforts Tritonia, which is a Goza. In the number 2 position, we have Three Taverns Rapturous, which is a fruited sour ale. And the number 1 sour beer in Georgia is Creature Comforts Athena, Berliner Weiss.
Yeah, I think those are 3 great beers.
Absolutely.
Rapturous really came out with that nice one, too. That's a good one that they're coming out with, too.
What they call the cranberry sauce, Enchantress?
Enchantress, yes.
That's a really good beer. I mean, Thanksgiving we had some. It's a very seasonal, appropriate, really nice beer. When I heard a cranberry sauce beer originally, I was like, I don't know about that, but they did it extremely well.
It is good. I think it's got a very short window for me as to when I could drink it, but during that time, even right now, I could drink it now.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's got to be cold. It's got to be kind of, you got to think about that turkey type of, you got to be in that holiday mood.
If it hits January and there isn't snow on the ground, I don't think I could drink it.
No.
Maybe you could brine a turkey in it, know?
That's a good call.
I hadn't thought about that.
Or you could use it as a base
raspberry
for your cranberry sauce.
Right you could,
because you put liquid and sugar in there. Maybe you could use that.
There's recipes for beer jelly, making craft beer jelly.
Nice.
So use some Enchantress and make some Enchantress craft beer jelly.
That's really good.
If we have any...
you know what?
What?
Mulling it.
You
know how we mold
the
creek?
Yes.
Yeah. Mold
Absolutely.
Enchantress.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just making up recipes as we speak.
We're just going around there, so...
It's good stuff.
What's up next, Aaron?
Let's see. The best overall stout. Again, some good stuff here as well. In Alabama... At number 3, Big Beach's Better Watch Out Stout came in, again, at 3rd place. Number 2, Fairhope, Judge Roy Bean. And the number 1 stout in Alabama, I don't think it's a big surprise with this one either, Good People's El Gordo. Again, one of the great stouts here in Alabama.
Absolutely.
So congratulations.
I have never had El Gordo.
It's good.
I wanted to go over for El Gordo Day, but we were falling Frozen Skywater weekend.
Frozen Skywater, yes.
We couldn't do that,
yes.
so yes. So
Curse you.
Over in Georgia, for best stouts, one of my favorite categories. We got some good ones. These are the best overall in the state of Georgia. In the number 3 position, Three Taverns German Chocolate Helms Deep. In the number 2 position, Burnt Hickory Brewery's Big Shanty. And the best stout in Georgia for 2017 is Monday Night Brewing's Tears of My Enemies.
All right. Well, then
there you go.
Some great stouts. And, I love the Big Shanty. That's one of the first Georgia stouts that I had. And it's a tasty beer. I do enjoy the heck out of that one. So
I knew it was popular. I didn't realize how popular until I started seeing the results come in. I'm like, wow, people really like them.
People love them some Shanty. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So,
what's not to love?
That's true.
I got no beef with it.
Stout.
Yes.
Got the Civil War imagery on the side. I like that stuff.
I got no beefs with it. I'm just saying I didn't realize how big the following was.
All right. Well, cool. Let's go ahead and slip into our last beer category before we start going to the breweries and brew pubs and stuff.
Right.
Before we take the break. Best overall anything else beer. Now, again, this involves anything else. Lagers, porters, whatever you got. This is kind of thrown it in there. And so in Alabama, again, we had the problem we had with the best new one as well. Kind of a lot of one votes for a lot of folks.
Gotcha.
But Big Beach, again, maybe stuffed the ballot box a little bit, but good for them. I applaud that. The Cream Ale won here in Alabama, so congratulations there. What about Georgia?
In Georgia, in the number 3 spot, we have Creature Comforts Automatic, which is a pale ale. The number 2 position is Monday Night Brewing's Bourbon Barrel Drafty Kilt, which is a bourbon barrel-aged Scotch ale. And the best everything else beer in Georgia is Creature Comforts Cocoa Bunny, which is a milk porter with toasted coconut, coffee, and cocoa nibs.
That's good stuff. We look forward to that every single year. So
And no vanilla this time.
No vanilla. Dropped it this year.
Okay.
Have you had it this year yet?
I have not had a chance to try that yet.
I got some hanging out over here, so we can make that happen.
So.
I'm a big fan of this year's version of it.
Excellent.
It's really nice.
Excellent.
So.
Well, very cool. So we
I
got
like me some coffee.
Yeah, we got about 2 minutes before we have to take a quick break. But
do you want to do another category or just run our mouths?
Let's go run our mouths a little bit. How about that? We're good at that.
All right.
So
you got it. So no. Not really.
No.
Not really. You know, there's quite a few, I think, in these categories that we just went over that could have been winners. You know, I will say this. In the best sour category, there were some more in-depth sours that I thought might kind of creep up there.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't argue with the drinkability of Gozes and Berliners and those types of beers.
And I think one of the things that kind of plays into that favor is the availability of it too. You know, we've had some great sours. You know, for example, we talked about the Sweetwater Woodlands, but a lot of them have been small batches. So a lot of folks have not necessarily had the chance to try them. So maybe that might have been factored in too.
Right.
And let's face it, the Woodlands, it's going to be more expensive to take back bottles of that than to get a 6-pack of Athena or something on that level, basically.
Yeah. So, but again, it just really shows how much fantastic beer is coming out of the Southeast now. Now that we finally relaxed our laws and we can finally start brewing decent beer, or actually make a profit making good beer. It's really kind of upped our game and really stepped it up. And I'm really looking forward to the next couple of years.
You know, good point though. If someone has had 12 cans of Rapturous or they've had 1 bottle of something else, it's going to be a lot easier for them to remember and say, hey, this was a really good beer there. So, yeah. Well, we need to take a quick break. We're going to come back with the final list of winners and the best of Georgia and Alabama beer. And you're listening to Beer Guys Radio. We'll be back right after this.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
He hates these cans! Stay away from the cans!
Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
And welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. BeerGuysRadio.com is our website. We're on the socials at Beer Guys Radio 2. We are having our blast broadcast of 2017.
It is our blast broadcast of the year.
It's our last segment 4 of 2017.
That's right.
As well,
segment 4 time.
Which
good stuff, man.
Could be good. But we're just cracked open a Cocoa Bunny from Creature Comforts, one of the previous winners.
We did.
In the everything else category. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of the other ones. We've got the good stuff coming right now, including Best Overall Brewery. Let's go ahead and do that now. Tim, let's go ahead and knock out Georgia.
For Georgia, the best brewery of 2017, according to 2,500 Georgia beer fans. In the number 3 position, Variant Brewing Company in Roswell. In the number 2 position, Monday Night Brewing Company. In the number 1 brewery in Georgia is Creature Comforts Brewing Company.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Exactly. So
3 worthy winners there.
Oh, definitely. Some good breweries doing some great things.
I like the beer at Monday Night overall really well. The employees, though, not so much.
Those guys are jerks.
They are.
They're really terrible people. But anyway, in Alabama, 4-segment time, folks. We've got, again, top 3 here, best overall brewery. At number 3, Fairhope Brewing clocks in. Number 2, Trim Tap Brewing out of Birmingham, of course, winners of several other categories prior to this. And number 1 in Alabama, again, you know what? We encourage people to go it. And, we've got Big Beach Brewing out of the Gulf Shores area. Best overall brew pub in Alabama. Again, it was one of those things where we had a lot of different votes and had to pick a winner to get a good selection here. Below the Radar in Huntsville is the winner of our best overall brew pub in Alabama.
Below the Radar.
Yes.
Georgia, we got 3 here for you. In the number 3 position, Georgia Best Brew Pub, we have Torch Top Brewing Company. In the number 2 position is Cherry Street Brewing Cooperative. And the best brew pub in Georgia is Wrecking Bar Brew Pub.
All right. So, congratulations.
Again, no huge surprise there. 3 great places. Great beer, food.
Yes,
people.
absolutely.
It's awesome.
I think I agree with that list.
That's a good.
I
That's a good list.
think I would. I don't know if I would change it. Would you?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if even the order. I think I may do that. So
a lot of great brew pubs
all
there.
good places
there.
there.
A lot of good places coming
I need
through.
to check out. Like Good Word from the Earth. I loved the first visit I went there was fantastic. Need to get back there, but of the ones I've been to several times, I'd say that's a pretty solid list.
Definitely. So yeah. So again,
that's some fun stuff.
That's some fun stuff. Exactly. We're getting some good things going on here. Best Beer Fest. Here in Alabama, we have got a tie, actually, for the best beer fest in Alabama. Magic City Brew Fest in Birmingham and the Rocket City Brew Fest in Huntsville. So congratulations to them. They had the same amount of votes, and I think that's worthy because probably it's 2 of the better brew fests that I've been to. And the cool thing about it is, again, if you're here in Georgia and you want to go to Alabama, the nice part about going to Alabama is that you not only get different beers from the Alabama breweries, but you're also getting different distribution networks, too.
Right.
So you may get different breweries from around the country that you don't necessarily get in Georgia either.
Yeah, I went to both those brew fests last year, and both were a really good time.
Didn't they have a Icelandic beer at one of those events?
Yes,
that I've
they
never
did.
seen
That was
before?
Rocket City, the
Yeah.
one in Huntsville. Yeah,
I thought that
sure
was really cool.
Yeah, interesting stuff. So in Georgia, our best beer fests. In the number 3 position, won the first time in Georgia in Atlanta this year, is Shelton Brothers The Festival. The number 2 spot, we have Roswell Beer Fest. And the number 1 beer fest in Georgia, Sweetwater 420 Fest.
All right.
Wow. So, and I will admit, this category was a surprise for me, the way it was. And I think it goes to show that the beer geek crowd may have a different opinion from just the general masses on what's best. We get geeky and we look for certain specialty items in that. But Sweetwater 420 Fest, love it. Fantastic festival, with the Sweetwater beers there and all that. So it's very cool to see the average consumer get in, cast a vote for 420 Fest there.
Yeah. And the neat thing about 420 Fest, we talked to some of the folks that went there last year or this year, and they're from different parts of the country, and they may not know Sweetwater Brewing. Of course, for us, it's so ubiquitous. We're just used to it everywhere. But if you're coming from Texas, if you're coming from the Midwest or out west, and you may not have heard it, and so they get a chance to sample some of our local beers when they come to see it.
Good point, because a lot of people coming for the music. We think about coming for the Sweetwater beer, but so many people are here because they follow those bands around. So introducing more people to good old Atlanta beer.
Exactly. All those hippies running around following that jam band music.
They do have an impressive lineup every year.
They do.
Yeah.
So very cool. All right, now best bottle shop. This is best beer bar.
Beer bar.
I skipped it on here, but again, a great list of beer bars out there. And in Alabama, we had a couple of winners here, or we had a couple of nominees. Number 2, the Beer Hog in Pelham. Which I think I just want to go to the Beer Hog in Pelham, just say that I've been to the Beer Hog in Pelham, Alabama. I think it's fantastic. And of course, no surprise here, one of the great beer bars in the country, not only in the state, the J. Clyde in Birmingham won the category
great place.
for best
I have been to that one, so that was a nice one. Yeah, absolutely. So over here in Georgia, our best beer bars, the number 3 position is the Nest in Kennesaw. We have in the number 2 position, Brick Store Pub, and the best beer bar in Georgia is the Porter Beer Bar. So, again, can't argue with that list. Porter and Brick Store for me are neck and neck. I love the Nest. Sure. Absolutely. Barbecue and craft beer up in my neck of the woods.
Yes.
So that's hard to argue with.
And the world's largest nachos.
They are. And a 3-foot-long smoked sausage,
there you
too.
Go. What can you want? Exactly.
Now, I have to give a shout-out to a special nomination that didn't win the category, but I think this is worth mentioning. Shout-out to Applebee's, which got a nomination for the best beer bar in Georgia. And I'm guessing they must have changed since last time I've been to Applebee's, because their beer selection wasn't that extravagant when I was there.
It got a number of votes, too, didn't it?
So it did not. No, it did not. Is 1 a number?
1 is a number.
They got a number of votes. Yes. 1.
Nice. Well, no Applebee's in this next list. This is the best bottle shop. And go ahead in Alabama. No surprises here. Some great ones. Liquor Express in Huntsville, which, again, is a great name because if you want to get your liquor, you need to get the heck out of there and go.
Hurry.
That's right. Maggie's Bottle and Tail in Orange Beach. Apparently, I need to go to this place because you've got a bottle shore, and it's also like a souvenir type of a thing too. So my wife can go shop for that stuff, and I'll go shop for the good beer.
Is that the tail part?
I'm guessing so.
Bottle and tail.
Bottle and tail.
That sounds like a euphemism for something.
There could be. Look, you've got the dirty mind, not me. I'm going
to go check it out, and I'll let you guys know what I find out.
And the number one bottle shop in Alabama, Hop City in Birmingham.
Sure.
Again, one of the great bottle shops in the country, no matter in just the state. So, what about Georgia?
Over in Georgia, we had a little mix-up this year. A little bit of some omissions that I would have thought I would have seen here, and some new entries. So, in the number 3 position, one that I absolutely love, 5 Points Bottle Shop in Athens, which is a fantastic bottle shop. Yeah, Decatur, another good one, and Sprayberry Bottle Shop in Marietta, jumping into the number 1 position.
Bridge.
How about that? Bridge.
Good job.
Getting it out there. So Bridge has worked very hard over the last few years to continuously improve the selection there, and he's obviously made his mark there.
Definitely.
So congrats to that.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to say that I'm glad that 5 Points Bottle Shop is in Athens because it costs me a lot every time I go there.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
I love that place.
You know what Brian's favorite thing to do is to say that he's kind of on hiatus from purchasing beers. Do you know how long that lasts? Like 5 days.
I mean, 6 hours maybe.
The Monday to Friday embargo.
I have so much beer I can't buy anymore. And then
I didn't realize that was our
case.
last category. That was kind of anticlimactic.
I
didn't take it out on a big bang there.
No, but seriously though, congratulations to all the nominees and all the winners. This is
absolutely
awesome. It's been a fantastic year. We've expanded. We've got some more affiliates coming on board. We expect to see some more coming through, too. So thank you again for your support. I couldn't have done without the listeners here, and
We've
been awesome.
had a blast. It's been a great 2017. We've met awesome people. We've drank awesome beers. We've got awesome new jobs. We've grown awesome beards even more. So
even longer.
Brian Gandalf here, field operative Brian Gandalf.
When am I going to get my staff? I need a walking staff.
You do, a staff and a wand.
People trying to get to the bar, Brian standing there. You shall not pass.
That's right.
Blocking them off there. So
excellent. All right, well, you know what? As we wrap this up, of course, it is time for a giveaway to give away. Tim, who do we got this week?
Our winner this week is Daphne Glass. Daphne, thank you so much for subscribing to This Week in Georgia Beer. We really do appreciate the support. And if you would drop us an email to beerguys@beerguysradio.com, we'll get you a really cool swag pack out. So, Aaron, if others want to get This Week in Georgia Beer and enter the competition, how would they go about that?
Just go ahead and visit beerguysradio.com. Sign up for This Week in Georgia Beer. You'll get a weekly newsletter with all the happenings in Georgia Beer. Plus, you'll be entered to win our weekly swag pack, which is pretty awesome, I got to say. Now, coming up next week, if you got one of those homebrew kits under the Christmas tree, you'll want to tune in because we are going to be talking about homebrewing. It's something that folks really want us to talk about more often, so we'll do that. Brothers That Brew, that'll be fun. We're going to come in there, talk about some homebrewing and some other things that are going on.
Good stuff, man.
Good
Absolutely.
stuff. Absolutely. So check us out on beerguysradio.com and on the socials. If you want some more craft beer information, check out our podcast called Drink This Beer. This week, we're talking to Maine's Allagash Brewing Company. Again, thanks so much for listening. Have a happy and safe New Year's. And again, thank you. You guys made this 2017 awesome, and we look forward to 2018.
Amen.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.